Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about the offshore Caribbean, wherein VO Thunder in Paradise is an American series of 22 episodes whose 90-minute pilot was cut in half for its French broadcast. It was created by Michael Burke and Douglas Schwartz. We follow the adventures of two mercenaries, Randolph J. Spencer, known as Hurricane in VO, and Spencer in VF, and Martin Brubaker, nicknamed Brew, played by Hulk Hogan, and Chris Lemmon. They are former special forces of the Navy and best friend. They built a super-powered boat, which they named Thunder. It is full of gadgets. It was originally planned to equip the government with them, but the latter refused. So they use it themselves to do justice off Florida, their HQ, and located at the Paradise Beach Hotel, where we can find the rest of their little team: Kelly, Uncle Edward, and Hurricane's adopted daughter Jessica, who is played by Carol Alt, Patrick Macney, and Ashley Gorel. The boat used is a Scarab Thunder, specially designed for the series. It is supposed to have a whole list of equipment, which I will describe to you: hydro thrusters to go at high-speed missiles, a machine gun. It is obviously armored. It has some kind of intelligence, artificial, which speaks to an anti-radar, a laser, energy shielding, plus an autopilot jet ski, and above all, it has the great particularity of transforming and becoming bigger, inside and outside, and to be ultra-stable. More wave movement, which is quite funny to see. It's a detail that you don't see when you were a kid, when it's obvious here. The producers considered two other titles before deciding on Thunder in Paradise. The first was Trouble in Paradise, and the second was Hurricane in Paradise. They didn't have to look far. The little girl who played Jessica Whittaker, Spencer Robin Weissman, was replaced from the fourth episode by Ashley Gorel, because the producers thought they weren't cut out for the role. Chris Lemmon wasn't the first choice to play Brew. The role was first offered to George Foreman, who refused because the schedules did not suit him. He was on another series at that time named George Foster. During an interview, Hulk Hogan said he wanted to keep the show's boat, but he couldn't, so he decided to build a replica. Except it was right after surgery, and he wasn't quite at his best, and he regretted doing it, but he doesn't say why. Hulk Hogan laid down his conditions before starring in the series. He traveled a lot with his wrestling career, so there he asked to stay in his hometown of Clearwater, Florida. It was accepted by the production as a thank you. He participated in the production of an episode. He also gave the name to the boat, the Thunder, who came from his hometown hockey team, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Filming locations for the pilot movie that kicks off the series and is cut in two parts at home was filmed in and around the historic The Don Caesar Hotel in St. Pete Beach, Florida in April 1992 for a budget of $3 million. For the rest of the series they went to Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando. The Grand Floridian Resort and Spa served as the setting for the Paradise Beach Hotel, and many other places in Disney theme parks were used for the different architectures it offers. In the pilot of the series, where the first two episodes Hulk Hogan wears an eye patch for a good part of the film, it is due to an injury suffered during one of his last fights for the WWF, which he had just left to shoot the series. In the double episode, The Deadly Lessons, on the 17th and 18th, we see the destruction of a school. It was a real school in Central Florida. Production negotiated the image rights against the financing of the controlled demolition. According to Steve Borden, he should have joined the cast of Season 2 as the third thief of the team, but the series was cancelled. Hulk Hogan thought of restarting it with another name, Thunder Force, with him, Steve Borden, Mr. T, and starring another martial artist, but he quickly abandoned the idea, because just after the end of filming he signed a very lucrative contract with WCW, who canvassed him during the last filming of the episodes, which were happening right next to the WCW studio. They even came to the marshy area in St. Petersburg to make a meeting, where he announced to him the amount of the future contract of the coup. To justify his departure from the series, he said that he was fed up with the grueling filming of Thunder in Paradise. Most of the show's guest stars are obviously Hulk Hogan's wrestling buddies, including Jimmy Hart, Ed Leslie, Jim Neidhart, Jorge Gonzalez, Ray Hernandez, Fred Ottman, Steve Kieran, Terry Funk, Steve Borden, and Sam Jones. There are 3 films about the series, which are actually all double episodes put together to sell them on VHS. Except the first one, or it's the opposite, it was cut in half for the broadcasts of the series, since the pilot was released before the start of the series on VHS. So the first film was the first 2 episodes of Thunder in Paradise. The second is done with episodes 6 and 7, Kelly and Prince Charming. The third is made with episodes 17 and 18 Deadly Lesson. And with this well-functioning system, they released an interactive video game on the Super Philips CDI with the last 2 episodes of the Major and the Minor. They still shot additional scenes, just for the game at the same time they were doing the episodes. Another game was planned for Nintendo and Sega Mega Drive, but that was cancelled. My little finger tells me that there were more double episodes to exploit, so too hard to write something new. The series has no other merchandise, no toys, just fan-made boats, either Lego or radio-controlled. There are just a few Pogs available for those who remember Pogs. The credits and episode music are actually partly by John D'Andrea and Corey Lirios. The soundtrack is available on CD, but hey, it's not the most memorable credits, for my taste of course. Here is the series. It's for once not stopped, because it didn't work, but because of the greed of its main actor in front of a big check. Afterwards she has a very particular tone. I had a good laugh in front of scenes that came out of nowhere with actions and dialogues, how to say absurd. Hulk has a scene in each episode underwater where he uses his big muscles. The series is, well, a nanner. Suddenly it's fun and we spend a good time. I recommend it even if not available French DVD. It is findable only in German, but a lot of episodes are available on YouTube in VF. The playlist is therefore in the description. As usual, it's been a short video after the series wasn't a huge success, even if it still did well. So the usual YouTube stuff, subscribe, comments, subscriptions. Don't forget that it makes the channel known. I tell you more for another series. Bye bye.